All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of a small project me and my best friend are throwing together. I'm Dondre, and on the other mic, we have my main man, Travis. Travis, go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
What's going on, y'all? Yeah, this is the first episode of this little thought that we've been having, man, for a couple years. So we finally giving it a try.
Yes,
It's been a
sir.
long time in the making, dude, for sure.
Yep. Today, we're going to go over a couple topics, a couple questions, just some thoughts we've been having throughout this crazy year. And first little tidbit we're going to get into is how crazy this year has been, which I believe 2020 started off with this whole World War III scare that had everybody hyped and going crazy on the interwebs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Travis, what's your thoughts on how this year started? With that being the first major thing?
Man, honestly, dude, it's always a good thought at the top of the year to be like, you know what, next year is gonna be a clean slate or whatever. But like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we carry so much negative energy from 2019, bro, that it was almost inevitable for this year to be
Yeah, I can lay
a
right
wild
into
one.
it.
Yeah, and it's just like the whole World War III scare. If you think about it, like we've been, going back and forth with North Korea for years, and I feel like now with leadership, how it is, it's more prone for, I would say more altercation in a way, just
Yeah,
because of how the climate of the world is right now. So I think that's why people were like legitimately terrified that like World War III could be possible, and I still think it's to come. Maybe not this year, but I think it's to come, bro. At some point
yeah,
we're gonna
definitely.
be in World War III.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you said, we've been beefing with North Korea for years, but just having, the fucking Iraq shit, the Syria shit, that's been
Yeah,
ongoing for a minute.
yeah,
And then all these Iran scares because they were doing a bunch of threats and everything. Iran popped off early on too, and that kind of was like the fuel of the fire that really set this shit ablaze. And then of course with how the world is, how America is, how this generation is, it was memes galore. People were saying, "Oh, we about
oh
to get
man,
drafted. We about to go. It's gonna be me and my squad going to the gulag, in Iran
bruh,
and whatnot." Like they had the where we dropping boys, the fucking Fortnite and PUBG fucking memes going off and whatnot. Like,
bruh,
and it's crazy to think that we live in a time, in a society where we can legit meme this,
everything,
like the shit we're going through as it's happening. It's like you got
bruh.
the politicians, doing their side of the thing, but then you got the whole internet just like making a joke out of it at the same time, and that's crazy to me.
That's a fact. But that's why I always laugh at that meme where it's like, it said the internet era, and it was like, during any event, like you just said, anything tragic that happens, these niggas would legitimately like find some way to make it funny.
Yeah.
Like when they had the meteorite with the Michael Jordan face. Bro, every time I see that one, it just cracks me up because I'm like, that's legitimately how it would be if NASA was to be like, "Yo, there's a meteor heading this way," and be like
Oh yeah,
two
definitely.
months. Oh my god, bro, the memes would just go crazy.
Yeah, it would be
Like,
the end of the world, literally. And it's hilarious because the crying Jordan face is timeless.
bro,
When anything new happens in the world, it is literally the crying Jordan face, and it fits in any
it
point in
does
time.
everything,
Which I don't know. We can get into this topic later, but I think the new crying Jordan face might be the depressed Will Smith face.
bro. Bro, oh man, it's funny because like I was seeing the memes and I was like, dang man, like I low key feel bad for the dude though.
Yeah, they dragging my man through the mud.
Mud though, and I'm like, how is this spun on him?
Yeah.
Like that's crazy, but I don't know, bro.
Hmm.
That's how it is.
Yeah. So cool. We just touched on the World War III stuff. Kept that brief.
Yeah,
Next to the meat and potatoes, which covers these next 2 3 points altogether,
yeah.
is this corona, this COVID
Mm,
19.
crown
This shit
virus, boy,
this shit then came out the fucking woodworks out of
bruh.
nowhere and just literally has affected the world and society on a global scale.
Yeah,
Shit, maybe even on a cosmic scale. I guarantee you, aliens are like, We
I
not
ain't
taking a
going to that
vacation.
shit.
We ain't vacation to Earth this year. We gonna just skip that shit for a little bit. Let's go to
That's a
Pluto or
fact.
some shit.
Yeah, like they're like, nah, we ain't even gonna mess with these dudes, man.
Yeah, we about to go hit up cousin Thanos on Titan or something and go chill with him for a bit.
Bro, so like when it first happened, did you shut like did y'all shut down or like what did you do?
Uh,
I remember you overseas at the time, right?
yeah, I was actually deployed, but just from like the initial shock and brunt of this stuff catching wind, in like early February, March, moving forward, a lot of businesses was like, "Yo, we about to pack up shop. Like we shutting
Yep.
everything down." Not saying, uh, shit came to a complete halt or a stop, but it was like, yo, the world just literally hit pause, and
Yep.
if you wasn't a gas station or grocery store, it was like, yo, you not opening up. Like we went scarce, and then it's like, as you saw on the news in the media, everybody for some reason was like, you know what, let's go ransack this store for some goddamn toilet paper and milk. Like
Bro.
that's always
Oh
the
my
go to for
God.
some reason.
Yeah, like and it's crazy. So, you know, we shut down March 16th was my last day, and I remember that I think that was a Friday if I'm correct, but that week
Yeah.
was when it first announced that the schools were shutting down. So we were like, okay, like we gotta go out here and try to, like you said, we gotta go out here and try to get the necessities, even though we've already had mad toilet paper, and like the whole time thinking like, how much are y'all shitting during quarantine, bro?
Yeah,
Like,
the
are
fuck
you
is going
shitting
on?
that much? So we went into the Target down here, man, and they had already like the people. It was so many people in there, Dre. Like it was crazy. I never seen so many people on a weekday at a Target like that. And we went to a couple of the different aisles just trying to get like snacks and stuff like that, man. And all of that was pretty much gone too. Like stuff that you wouldn't even
Yeah.
think people would buy was gone.
The most
You know?
random stuff getting bought with,
Yeah,
with the
like
quickness.
yeah, and I'm like, what? Who? Okay, I mean, if that's what y'all want to do, and then you go to the toilet paper section, all that was gone. Paper
Ghost
towels
town.
were gone, bro. It's crazy. But you know what was still there? Soap, cause niggas still ain't washing their ass. They sit in the house on quarantine, ass smelling like boo boo butter. They don't even
Boo-boo
care,
butter.
bro. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man. I'm like, y'all dirty. You
Yeah.
bought everything else but soap.
Like, ain't that the craziest thing? Is they're like, oh man, this virus, all these germs, bacteria. Cool, you buying up milk, bread, motherfucking Tide Pods, and toilet paper and chimney rugs and shit. Between buying soap to wash your hands and clean off your countertops and whatnot.
Bro, it's crazy, man. And it's funny because like the whole like COVID thing, I feel like it was honestly a way to get people back on track, bro. And that's the way I've been kind of looking at the whole shutdown, where it's like you were literally forced to sit down
Yeah.
and really like think about what you want to do with your life. And if you were blessed enough, like, I feel like I was greatly blessed for the whole time being paid, man. I
That's
literally
true, yeah.
didn't go to work from March 16th all the way till what's this now, July?
Yeah,
I
we're in
think I
July.
went back. Yeah, so I think I went back like early June. Like that was my first time back to work in
Damn.
almost 2 months. Yeah, dude.
That's
and
crazy.
It's just, yeah, and I remember the conversations at first was, you guys would have to use your leave. We're going to allow you to go 80 hours into the hole. And it's like,
Yeah.
because people were really thinking this is going to be a very short term kind of situation where
Yeah,
it's like,
they didn't know
okay,
how serious it was until
Right.
more facts and figures got presented through the world and whatnot on how this is really affecting businesses, hospitals, people, like everyday
Yeah.
society.
Yep. And so they were. I think a lot of these companies were projecting for people, for to shut down for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, the numbers just kept coming in. It kept getting worse. It was like watching a firestorm that you just couldn't stop. And
Mhm.
it got to a point where they're like, "Yeah, all of y'all are going home right now."
Yep.
Like it was middle of the day, dude. You're going home right now. And it forced me to sit in the house. I built a patio.
There you go.
Yeah, like I got a lot of stuff done in quarantine, and it kind of made you like realize how much you miss out of life going to work every single day.
Yeah, definitely. And I do agree that it was like a huge pause on life for everybody. And I know people initially were like, "Oh man, I'm stuck in the house. I'm cooped up. I feel trapped. I feel like a caged animal and all that whatnot." But really, like hindsight's 2020, 2020. But it
Right.
really helped people. It even helped me. Like just no shit. Like take a pause, take a break, and really focus on life and things I want to do moving forward. Because
Yeah.
like I had so much free time to myself, I was going crazy. Like initially, because I didn't know what to do, but then I really focused and buckled down, and I started learning, stocks, investment, using Robinhood a lot. Like actually learning on just the economy. Granted, it's tanking right now, but that's a good and bad thing. Now is the
Yeah.
time to,
Get in it.
get in it, buy low. So once
Mm-hmm.
the world eventually returns to normal, you'll see them shares and stocks slowly appreciating, gaining profit over time and whatnot. And
Yeah.
that's something like I've been doing a lot of research into. I've been doing a lot of research just in personal health. Bettering myself, eating right.
For
Because I,
sure.
I definitely had a shitty diet for a little while, and luckily I'm blessed with that high metabolism, so I stay relatively thin. But at the same time, you could be thin and still have heart disease, heart attacks, and
Yep.
whatnot. So
That's a
I
fact.
definitely revamped my diet. Started running more and whatnot. Actually, just taking better care of myself because
It's
you're
important, man.
yeah, it really is, bro. And like your mental health is literally
Oh
as
man.
important, if not more important, than your physical health. Because if you're not healthy mentally, then that's going to transition over to your spiritual health, your
Yep.
physical health, your relationships with friends and family, your daily motivation to get up and do stuff, or contact people, or just reconnect.
Yep. That's a fact, and it is funny because you said in there something about normal, and my thinking is, what do we consider to be normal again? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, and it's I think a major thing was with me. It seems, just speaking to different people now, it seems like that was like a major keynote for people was to get more active, and
yep,
even like sitting in the house, I can guarantee you, because I didn't get as active as I wanted to,
yep,
but I would say, man, like just sitting in the house for 2+ months can really set you back, bro. Like physically, mentally, and then I kept asking my wife at the time of the shutdown, where I'm like, what do you think that people that just feel alone on a regular, but
yeah,
they still have that outlet where they go to work and they're around people and
yeah,
they're getting to interact. How are they doing?
yeah. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, and it's like I'm sitting there like just thinking of all these thoughts in my head where I'm like, what is the suicide rate right now? Like it's like I'm thinking about things that outside of just the virus. It's like those people that feel that way on a regular.
Yeah,
Imagine now you literally feel like you're trapped with yourself,
yeah. It's like that feeling has been uh
amplified.
it's been tuned up to 10. Like
Yeah.
it's like now like even if you were secluded, introverted and whatnot, you could still, like you said, go to work, have a social interaction with your coworkers, or even just go out, go for a walk, go for a jog, go for a run, and be out. Yeah, you're alone, but you're still outside,
Right. Yep.
Whereas now, like through this whole COVID-19 pandemic, it's like everything came to a complete halt, a standstill.
Yep.
People who were gym rats or, had that realm of their life going on, gyms were like, nah, dog, we shut down. You can't bench press in
Can't come
here.
here.
So it's
Yeah.
like that also sparked a whole new world of social media creativity where people are working out in their backyards, in their garages, out front, finding new and creative ways to just keep those muscles active instead of like, so they're not like regressing on their product on their progress, losing that muscle mass or weight. They still have something they could do through creative ways,
Yeah.
to stay active, stay moving and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely kind of sad to think about, like what are people thinking that are naturally alone, and now it's like they are completely shut in. They
Yeah,
can't even,
man.
like, sports shut down, movie theaters shut down, restaurants
Yep.
are doing like takeout or delivery only. You can't even sit down and enjoy a meal. Certain some places you can, they do like 50% capacity, but even then, it's like since it's 50%, it's going to be either busy all the time or a long ass wait.
Yep.
And it's like society in its entirety literally just took this pandemic unprepared. Like no one saw this coming. Like
No.
and it's not something like you could prepare for. You get the early warning signs of like, oh, this new disease, blah blah blah. But people are like, oh, damn, that's crazy. But then until it like hits home, shell shocks them, like, oh shit, it's in my city now. Then it's like, yo, this thing is real.
Yeah, and I think that's like, I think that's what it took. And honestly, to be completely real with you, I don't think a lot of people still understand the severity of it because they don't know anyone with it.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of us are guilty of that, where it's like, oh, well, I don't know anybody that has it, or
therefore it's not real, or
yeah,
it's not
real.
It's not super
it's
serious.
not that bad, right? So it's kind of like, I think a lot of us kind of fell into that trap initially too.
Yep.
And it's crazy because I was on CNN yesterday just because it randomly popped up on my Facebook, and the media, man, like Dre, if you look at how the media is kind of like doing their thing, they're making this nasty, bro.
Yeah.
And I say that because I saw a report yesterday where they said it's some form of like a squirrel or something like that. I forgot what they call it, but there's this ground squirrel, right? It sounds stupid. They said it's this ground squirrel that tested positive for the bubonic plague. I was like, hold on, bro. I was like, hold on, dog. You trying to tell me we got COVID-19 out here doing her thing, and then the bubonic plague? I'm like, how in the hell did the bubonic plague come back, right?
Bro, if that's not a throwback to
medieval times.
Yeah, back in the day, Europe, when motherfuckers used to get thrown in jail for showing ankles and stuff.
Right. So listen to this, right? Do some more research. I mean, granted, they did put it in the article.
Yeah.
So it's reported that every year, the bubonic plague actually claims lives around the world.
The bubonic plague, boy, if that's
right,
not
a
throwback disease.
That's what I was like, hold on, bro. But now it's like, the reason why I say the media is nasty is because now y'all decide to put this on Front Street during this time. I'm like, come on, fam.
Yeah,
like
we already got one battle going on. You trying to introduce another final boss to the fight? Like, God
that's
damn.
what I'm saying. I'm like, and then back then, and then the thing that's crazy is the bubonic plague is treatable now.
Yeah.
But they were saying, I was reading the history of it, and it claimed like 51 million people back then in Europe. And then, of course it did, because same thing with the coronavirus, just not to the same severity. People didn't understand what it was.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing.
And back then, medical was not how it was today. Like, if you had a headache back in the day, man, get your affairs in order. Like, get your will together. If you had a headache, bro, you might as well just, say goodbye to life.
I was gonna say, like, even if you had, like, if a soldier in battle or something, man, they just cut your shit off. They're like, oh, you don't need this arm no more. they can't do nothing else. They just cut it off, and kind of just patch you up from there. That's crazy to me, man.
Yeah, back in them days, you had a sore tooth. They gave you to George Washington. They gave you a wooden joint.
Just rip all of them out. But you don't need these joints. We got these prosthetics. Don't worry about it.
George Washington had the original gangster grill. He had a wooden, he had a whole wooden piece in his shit.
Bro, but you gotta think though, like, he had to have mad splinters in his gums, bro.
Oh,
or like on his tongue, dog. Like, how you operate like that?
My man had wooden teeth, fucking scratching up his gums, roof of his mouth. He had the original Captain Crunch going on.
I was about to say. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's huge nuts right there. That's crazy as fuck,
dude. But then I'm not gonna lie, when they started doing the talks about the stimulus checks, man, that's when I was like, all right.
That's what got our attention. It was like, oh, word, rap. Stimulus check, huh?
Yeah,
okay.
Said, so y'all need me to stay in the crib? Like, we gonna keep getting stims? Like, how this gonna go? And then I was like, okay. So like, I started reading the thing. I'm like, okay, all right. So I might be eligible here. And that joint just hit, bro. It hit out of nowhere, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Like, did you get one?
Yep.
See, man, beautiful times, bro. Yeah. And it's a blessing.
Yeah, it definitely. I can see people arguing it back and forth, like, oh man, $1,200 up front, and then I think it was like 400 per child or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, along those lines. But it's like, okay, that's a nice little chunk of change to have just, slide in the DMs real quick. But it's like, when you think about it, like, people aren't working, but they still got car notes, mortgages, medical bills, credit cards, utilities, like whatever purchases that are literally in their daily life, like, yeah, that money like hit the account, but it's like, is it going to hit again? Because like, if I'm not working, not saying I'm not working, but just for like a regular person in that realm who was not working, like, their job stopped, but them bills didn't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, cool, you gave them this nice little chunk of change, which will help them stay afloat right now or back then, those months when they did get initially sent out. But it's like I said, our mortgage companies delaying payments, landlords delaying payments, like I said, trash, water, sewage, utilities. Like, people still have to, these companies still got to make money somehow. They can't just say, oh, nah, we'll give you a break. They still want their payments, on the 1st and the 15th or whenever their bills are due and whatnot. But it's like, is there going to be a round 2 of this joint? Because I know people are out here struggling. Like, yes, people are getting unemployment or like these grants and reliefs due to COVID and whatnot, but that's literally keeping them. That's barely keeping their head above water. Like, they still about to start gasping for air shortly if something doesn't come through with either a bill forgiveness law or bill or something, or some major medical breakthrough with a vaccine, a cure, or a treatment that's like, hey, if you get this fucking COVID-19, like, we can give you treatment that will make you better.
Yeah.
Because like, even to this day, hospitals, ERs, ICUs are still getting bodies left and right, that need treatment and help, but they're running out of space.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part to me, is where it's like, a lot of these states now, including Maryland, and I know Vegas, man, they were one of the first groups to open. When we opened here, it was, they slow walked it at first.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like, all right, come on, we're just gonna start opening everything. Like, we went into phase 2 2 weeks after phase 1, and phase 2 they increased the restaurant capacity to like 60%, if I'm correct. And people started moving around, and I think a lot of us forgot what's still going on, because now I'm not sure how it is there, Dre, but here I've seen people going to different restaurants and stuff in big groups, having parties again. Like, I've seen people going to clubs and stuff, and it's just like, then you start to hear you're starting to get wind of these states starting to get hit really, really hard, and it's like,
yeah, definitely,
we're due. I in my heart of hearts truly believe that we will shut down again, bro.
Oh yeah, it's
maybe
only,
not to the same extent, but it's gonna happen again.
It's only a matter of time, because out here in Vegas, the city started doing its phase plans in May, and it started opening up slowly but surely. But restaurants were doing 50% capacity. Bars started opening up. The one thing Vegas did not bring back was like nightlife and like clubs and all that stuff. But like, bars were open, people could get their drinks and whatnot, and then like outdoor patio seating. But the main thing was like social distancing, remain 6 feet apart, or have your mask, have your precautionary measures in order and stuff. And then like, I ain't gonna lie, motherfucking the first day my hookah lounge opened up, I went smack back to that joint. I was not waiting.
Bro, my fear with the hookahs though is like, all right, like, if somebody uses joint before me, how thoroughly are they cleaning the inside, bro? Like,
yeah,
that's
true.
My fear. You could throw the tube away, but like the hookah itself.
Yeah, and that's the luxury I have of the spot I go to. I've been going there for 4 years, and I'm on a first name basis with the crew in there, so I know those guys downtown. They're actually being thorough. They're being mindful of their clientele, of their merchandise. So like, when they remove a previous customer's hookah, they throw the old hose out, and they wash that shit down head to toe, making sure whatever previous bacteria or germs the previous customer had, that it's like, it's sterilized. They bring the new hookah out, it's like crystal clean, all that stuff. And like, I know for a fact that place is taking good care of their establishment and their customers.
Yeah, I remember when we came to visit you, man. It's a really clean spot. Like, I would say that's definitely like the number one hookah spot that I've been to.
Yeah, I've been going back since. I
absolutely loved it. Yeah, man. With the ice in the water, I was like, man, this is different. Like, you don't get this type of stuff in DC, man.
Yeah, that shit, 5-star fancy right there.
For sure, and the food was good.
Oh yeah, definitely the Mediterranean cuisine.
I
stay like, whenever I'm like on my solo shit and I have like dinner down there, I get this nice chicken cilantro plate, and that shit be hitting the spot.
Do you remember when you came to DC and I took you to Susie's, the place in DC where we went off the late, man? It was late on a weekday.
Nigga, whatever the name of that spot, I remember it, but whatever the fuck name of that spot was, I do remember being there.
Yeah, man, and they took us upstairs and we had the window, the window to the street and everything. I was like, man, and we were literally the only ones on that floor. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, we were the first ones up there initially.
Yeah, I forgot about that. More people did come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was a cool spot though, and that was my first time at a hookah spot in DC. Just cause, I mean, the moment we graduated, I left for the military and stuff, and I come home like every other year or something. But that was my first time actually doing like some nightlife type shit down in DC.
Yeah, and then remember we ended up going to that place on New Year's. Oh man, what was it called? Man, it looked like a tiki bar. Remember? Where you had when you first got your charger, I think you first got your first charger.
Yeah.
And we went to that spot I think that's H Street or U Street, one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to that hookah bar that was down there. We were there for a little while. We didn't stay too long.
Yeah.
That was like the second time I think I had hookah with you. I like that spot a lot.
I don't remember that. I remember the first spot where we was upstairs, but I don't remember that second spot, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Man. Yeah, because I think that was I want to say it was New Year's of 2017. Yeah, it was, because I remember that following, like later in that month, I started dating my wife.
I know it could have been 2017, because I was deployed between holidays 17 to 18.
Okay, so
it had to have been like 2014 or 15.
Had to be. Okay.
Because I moved here to Vegas beginning of 16.
Right. Okay, that's right. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I couldn't remember if you had the charger or not. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, I got the charger in 15.
Right. Yeah, that started it all, man. Started it all. Man, I was online on Instagram the other day, and I started noticing like,
what you got?
Mad chicks got like these OnlyFans accounts in their bio.
Oh my god, we about to get into that,
bro. I want to get into it, bro.
All right,
because I think it's a really good question.
COVID definitely birthed the business of OnlyFans.
Oh my god,
brought that shit up,
dude. Like, it exploded the OnlyFans.
Yeah, like, I'm sure it was around, but because motherfuckers was stuck at home, couldn't get none, they had to resort to that online shit. So that's definitely one of the guilty pleasures that was birthed out of this COVID-19 shit.
Yeah, and it's just like, how would you feel like if your girl came to you was like, Dondre, I want to make an OnlyFans account? Like, how would you feel about that?
She better come to me with a follow-up saying, Dondre, I want to be single. I ain't having that. Like, what man would want his woman literally showing her body to the world? Yes, she's making money from it, but it's like, yo, there's other ways out here in the world to get money. Like, if you want to be about that life of being like a cam girl, OnlyFans girl, like, that's not what I want in my life. I don't want that storm cloud in the back of my mind every day.
That's a fact. And that's why it's like that conversation of of always where it's like, could you date a porn star? Because now it's literally like, damn, this is literally almost the same thing.
Yeah, it's the stepping
Like,
stone.
yeah, and it's like, and I seen like this one chick. And it's funny because she's a stripper too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did a photo shoot for her cousin, which was like a hair shoot, right? And they all added me, and she made an OnlyFans, and she put it in her story.
Yeah.
Follow me on OnlyFans, and I'm like, first of all, you can see the street starting to show on her face, bro. Like,
Yeah.
mad like black bumps coming out of nowhere. I'm like, you look kind of crazy, but and she, I guess people were like giving her some type of backlash. And she puts on in her story after that joint, probably like 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Y'all acting like OnlyFans is only for girls that's showing their titties and all this stuff and doing sexual stuff.
It
so
is.
Like,
what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
so I'm like, so what are you doing on
What you-
OnlyFans?
yeah, what you out
What
here
is
having
this?
what you having a bake off? Like, what you making cookies? Like,
Like, yeah, like what are these niggas paying to see right now?
yeah.
Hey, that's crazy, bro.
She
I'm
think-
like trying to
she
make
think OnlyFans
excuses.
for other stuff. Like, no, it's literally for these bitches like showing their bodies and taking, requests on things to do.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck is she thinking? Like, what are you out here having a bake sale? What you making cookies? Like, what you showing recipes? Like
That's what, right. She like,
you
come on,
think
guys.
I'm gonna pay $5 a month to watch you bake some shit I could watch for free on YouTube? Like,
That's what I'm saying, bro. And that's the crazy part. Like, let's keep it a bean. If you get on like OnlyFans or some shit and you see a chick, and you literally gonna spend like $25 a month for a chick to do whatever when you got the hub right there. All you gotta do is type that joint in.
bro, I will never understand that. And
Yeah,
I
don't
think
get it, bro.
I think the kicker or the selling point is, yeah, you got the hub, 55 million videos worldwide and whatnot. I don't know the true demographics of that and whatnot, but it's like, I think why OnlyFans sells is because they get the more in-depth interaction. Like, they could chat with the chick or be like, hey, try this, next week. Like, they can actually talk to these bitches and like give them ideas and whatnot. And then plus OnlyFans goes hand in hand with IG. So like, you probably found her OnlyFans from her IG in which she's advertising on the IG and whatnot, which obviously with the hub, you literally just pick your category,
Keep it moving.
wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, you be on your way. Whereas like the OnlyFans is like a live show or like her collection of photos and videos with input,
Yeah.
like you could send her a message, be like, hey, wear these red bottoms Wednesday, and then wear these, stilettos Thursday. Like, there's actually an interaction there, which I think people feel involved. So they're like, oh shit, like if she's listening to me, all right, I give her this
keep
fucking
doing
$25 a month. I give her,
Yeah.
like, I'll subscribe to this joint. I'll slap the like button and whatnot.
and I like, to keep it real, I honestly think it's another thing with like dudes. Like, it's like a sick thought in the dude's head where it's like, if it's a chick they know that has an OnlyFans, they're like, yo, it's finally my chance to see her titties. Like,
Yeah.
it's finally my chance to see her.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh man, dudes do be on that nutball shit, bro.
Bro, that is like the number one thing I am sick of seeing in Instagram comments, bro. Like, you're just scrolling and you see a girl's picture, and I want to get into that part too. You see a girl's picture, she thirst trapping.
Yep.
The funniest
Obviously
part,
thirst trap,
bro, a clear thirst trap. And you go to the comments because that's the best part, and niggas be in that joint, boy. And you see, and it's like mad other niggas above you saying the same thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you trying? Like, what is your goal to get out of that?
Yeah, like
That's always my question.
that's like, I feel like that's just how them dudes are in general. Like, these chicks are out here obviously thirst trapping. Like, oh,
Bro.
check out my new glasses. How can I see your glasses if your butt cheeks in the picture? Like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's like,
Yeah.
you click on the comment section and it's literally gorgeous, hey beautiful, hey beautiful, damn you're so fine, damn you're sexy, hard eyes, and it's like, what do y'all, like, you do
What's your
know
goal?
you're literally taking a ticket and waiting in line, right? Like, her
Facts.
DMs probably don't even have a number, they have the infinity sign because she's getting hit up all the time. So
Yep.
it's like, what are you really trying to do? So it's like, You slide in her DMs, you slide in her comments, you slide in her pictures, but it's like, bro, you really think you got a shot when there's literally uh 20,000, 40,000,
Yeah.
100K, 300K followers? Like, motherfucker, you ain't special. You are literally a
Another
sheep.
number.
You are literally a sheep in the herd that's
Yep.
following her, bro.
That's a fact. And it's just like, I wanted to ask you this if you feel the same way I do. I'm low key, because, well, for one, I'm married anyway, but like on top of that, even before I got married or anything, like thirst traps are just kind of annoying now, bro. Like
Yeah.
if I'm gonna keep it real, it's kind of like, cause like the more I started thinking about it, and especially like when the chick literally tries to post the same thing over and over again,
Yeah.
it's like, how many times can we look at the same ass? Like, all right, we get it. Like, you're talking about life. What, like they'll say, reflecting on life or whatever, and it's literally you laying on a bed with your butt in the air.
Yeah,
That
how you gonna
caption
have
doesn't make sense.
how you gonna have some uplifting ass motto or quote, but then the picture is like, oh,
Doesn't
she on
match.
she on that thirst shit. Like,
Yeah, and it's just like, and then I hate when they're like, I don't want the attention. Yes, you do.
you
bro.
obviously do.
Like, let's cut it out, bro. Yes, you
Yeah.
do. That's why you did it. Like, that's literally the whole point of a thirst trap, is to
Like,
get that attention.
Let's keep it 100. You had like a moment of probably like some low confidence or something, or maybe some dude rejected you, which
Yeah.
you're not used to. So you legit was like, oh shit, let me just throw up this pic real quick to get the sharks in the water buzzing real quick,
Yeah.
and then gets like that inflated ego momentarily, and then goes on about her way. Because
Yep.
moving forward, one thing that really like aggravates me is when a chick who knows she looks good, she's a gorgeous girl and whatnot, gets on the timeline, gets on the story, talking about some, why can't I find a man, like.
Oh my god.
But it's like, look at you. You are a gorgeous woman. Yes, you're gonna have tons and tons and tons of dudes literally throwing themselves at you, trying to like hit the DMs with like, "Hey, beautiful, I'm trying to give you the world." Like, bro, you don't even know this chick yet. You trying
I was about to say.
how are you trying to flex, and she doesn't even know who you are or give you the time of day? But then like, it goes back and forth. She's like, "Why can't I find a man who wants me for me?" But it's like, yo, like at the same time, you are a world class beauty, but on the flip side, you got your Cash App, Venmo, and OnlyFans in your bio. So I'm not taking you
Facts.
shit. Like, I ain't taking you to fucking cheesecake for a fucking salmon platter if you got your Cash App in your bio, because I know what you're about. Like,
That's a
hell
fact.
no. So like, you really can't say you can't find love when you out here being for the streets, as a
That's a fact.
Father Future would say.
Yeah, I was about to say, Father Feature, man, he be preaching, boy. But like, my thinking, bro, is like, like how you said cheesecake, right? I remember a couple years ago we were having a conversation about what is considered a good first date, right?
Yep.
And like, I always said that like Cheesecake Factory is a really good like little borderline, because it's like you get the aesthetic of being somewhere super classy, but it's not too crazy priced,
Yeah.
And this one girl, she was like, nah, like, I want to be wine and dined and blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, why can't you be wine and dined there? Or matter of fact, why can't you be wine and dined at like Fridays or anywhere?
Yeah.
Like, people put so much emphasis on the price of shit and not the quality of person
Yeah.
that you're on the date with. It's
Yeah.
like, it's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like that can, it's a society thing, and it goes back and forth to men and women, because it's the man's job to pursue the women, which is correct, but it's like, these chicks out the gate will be like, I'm a queen, I deserve this, the first date should cost 200, 300, 400 a
Shit.
stack. I'm like,
Yeah, okay.
where? Like, in whose
Why?
world? Like,
I was about to say,
like, a man first approaches a woman, let's keep it real, out of appearance. Damn, she's cute, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous. Let me try to talk to her and you just get to know her. Cool.
Yep.
Couple days go by or whatever, she agrees to a date, and it's like, cool. You decide on where to take her, what to do, and whatnot. And then it could be a good date or a bad date. Or you can have that one chick who'd be like, I'm a queen, I deserve this. What it's like, What are you doing in your life to make you think you're a queen? Let me guess. You go to work, you pay your bills. You're supposed to do that. Like,
Yeah.
as a man, I don't consider myself a king because I go to work and pay my bills. I'm literally supposed to do that. So like, people gotta look at themselves, men and women alike. Okay, what are you doing extra that makes you think you have this king status or this queen status? Why do
Yeah.
you think you deserve the world when you're not doing shit for the world that you claim that you are entitled to and whatnot?
That's a
So it's
fact.
like it definitely goes back and forth because there's dudes out here who think they can get whatever they want from a girl, or like, oh, I'm making some money, I got some bread, I can I can hang out with the shorty and get like, no, bro, that's not how it works. Just because you have status and money, that's not all.
It's not all that,
Yeah,
that means you deserve anything.
and I mean
And
like depending on what you're looking for, if you want a relationship or you're in that stud mode of like one night stands and picking up chicks, cool. That's not a bad thing. If that's what you want, that's what you want. But don't be out here saying like, oh, why can't I find somebody? Motherfucker, how about you change your
your
agenda?
habits, yeah, that's a fact. And it's just funny because I always talk about this too, man. Like, I know you've seen it too, where it's just like on Instagram, treat her this way, do this,
Oh yeah, definitely.
make sure she do this for her, blah blah blah. I never see a post,
Yep.
or if you do, it's super rare, where it's like, do this for your man, treat your man this way, do this or that for your man.
Yep.
It's so rare, bro. And it's like I think it was a couple people having a conversation before where they were saying, what do you consider, like, you know what is it where, I guess it's like, when is it the woman will value the man too? And it's almost like it feels like everything we do is trying to attract them, or it's like we're always the ones that's got to make the first move to get them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's like, now that we have your attention, and then we agree to go out on a date, it's up to me again. All the pressure's on the guy again, in my opinion.
Yep.
I gotta make sure that you're having a good time. And then it's almost like that gray area where it's like, on the first date, am I obligated to pay for? Because we're kind of taught that, like, if you
Yeah.
ask somebody out on a date, you should pay, whatever, cool.
Yep.
You gotta make sure she has a good time. You gotta make sure she gets home safe. Like, it's the whole shit. I would say the whole relationship, for the most part, is
Yeah.
always making sure she's good. And it's like, where does it come into play where somebody's like, hey, how are you doing? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like she
what do
makes
you
the
want
first
to do?
steps
Right.
to check on you or make sure you're straight or propose ideas to you. And that's absolutely right that like how we're raised as dudes in society, as men in society is like, hey yo, if it's a date, you're picking her up, you're taking her to the spot, you're going to the movies,
Yep.
you're going to dinner, you're going to whatever event, show, concert, whatever, you're paying for it, giving her a ride home, hey, have a good night. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a good time and whatnot and all that stuff. But that's literally how it is as dudes that like we are planning everything to the T, as to where like once you're on like I don't know date number 3, 4, or 5 or whatever number, uh, more planning from her part, gets involved. Yeah, as a dude, you can be like, oh, so if we hang out again, what would you like to do? Like, start gauging her for ideas and stuff. Because I
Yeah.
mean, as a guy, we're some pretty simple, easy ass creatures, bro. Like,
That's a
hey, you
fact.
try and get a bite to eat, you try and go to dinner, try and catch a movie, trying to go
Just
to a
chill.
show. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like on some chill shit. You trying to hit a lounge, smoke some hookah, just have a couple drinks and conversate. Just talk,
Yep.
like some simple shit. But it's like we're supposed to have that idea in the forefront. Whereas, I'm gonna ask a chick, I'm gonna ask a woman, what are your interests? What are your hobbies? What would you like to do? And like she might hit you with some out of left field shit, like, oh, I really enjoy hiking. Oh shit. Hey,
There
would
we
you want to
go.
go hiking for a hangout? We can hike this mountain, have some good conversations, check out the view of wherever the fuck we're at that time on that mountain, and
Yeah.
just, see how the vibes are and whatnot. And that legit could be a date. Like, oh, we went on a hiking
Awesome one.
date. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point too. I know we about to wrap up, but I think that's a really good point where it's like, you know, um, it doesn't always have to be the wine and dine. It could literally just be really good conversation somewhere. Like, you
Yep.
don't really have to go somewhere and spend money. To be completely honest, like I honestly think going like on a hike or walking around a park or something like that, that is an awesome first date, bro. Like seriously.
And it don't cost nothing. Yeah, you're
Exactly.
paying for some gas to get there, but it's like the meat and potatoes of that event, of that date, of that hangout is you're literally in nature, taking in the trees, the birds, nature, like all the environment with someone you are genuinely interested in spending time with and getting to know them, seeing where their heads at, with current events, with the world, seeing what they like and don't like, just vibing with that person in nature,
Yeah.
and it's not costing you a damn thing, bro.
Nothing. And then even on top of that, like you don't even really technically gotta pick her up for that joint. Like
Yeah.
you just be like, yo, meet me here,
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
bro, like before I got married, bro, like near the end, the whole dating thing started to become overwhelming, bro. And
Yeah.
like what I mean when I say that is just like it's so much work, bro. From the guy's perspective, like I can't speak for the women. For the guy, it is so much work. You gotta get yourself ready.
Yep.
Hop in the car, drive however far she lives, pick her up, drive to the location, wine and dine her there, make sure she has a good time, and then you gotta take her all the way back home, and then take yourself all the way back home. And it's like, bro,
Yeah, exactly. And then you gotta you gotta unwind and decompress and think about like, oh, how the evening was, and kind of like assess yourself and how
yeah,
the whole ordeal went. And that's, again, that I think that's just how we've been raised, brought up, conditioned, taught. That's like, yeah, as the man, you're supposed to go out of your way to chase what you want, go after it. Whereas, and it's by no fault to them, women are essentially waiting for the guy to approach them. Yeah, they could be like, hey, sorry, not interested, or no, I'm talking to someone. But they're definitely getting the attention. Like, the women are getting hit on more than the guys are getting hit on. Not saying
yeah,
women don't hit on men, because I've seen it definitely happen in person where women will approach a man on some real shit. But in society, it's literally 90% of the time the man's making the first move to initiate what could be a friendship, a relationship, a marriage down the line, a family down the line. It all starts with that man's first move on the chessboard.
yeah. That's very true. And low key, sometimes I feel like, um, some men, I don't think some men will receive a woman coming to them first in a good way. And I say that because us men, to a certain extent, we're all kind of ego based in a way.
Yeah, that's so
And
true.
yeah, so I think where it's like if a woman was to approach you, like we might not feel this way. Like I don't think that's a bad thing, but like for some guys, it might be like, oh, so she must think I'm like soft or something like that. Like dudes really be thinking about stuff like that, dude.
Yeah,
Where yeah, and it's weird. I'm like, well, why wouldn't you want her to pursue you? Like that's not a bad thing.
yeah,
But I really genuinely feel like, some men would take it the wrong way, and I think like a lot of women feel that men would take that a wrong way as well because it's like almost establishing dominance in a way.
yeah. The only way I'm gonna feel mad uncomfortable in a date that a woman sets up is if she picks me up at the crib and then she buckles my seatbelt for me. Then I'm gonna be like, yo, like you got it. Like
Or she come around and open your door,
I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, is this
pull your chair out at the restaurant, bro. That's another thing that I want to get into too, though. Before we leave, is like the courtesy part of the date.
Mm-hmm.
Like nowadays, do you still go to the door and like knock on that joint, or is it more like a hey, I'm outside type joint?
It depends on a variety of things, but pretty standard for me is I'm like old dude at heart. Like I'm gonna hit you up like, hey, I'm on the way. I'm not gonna text you saying, hey, I'm outside. Just walk out this bitch. Like I'm gonna legit park the car, turn that shit off, and like knock on the door and be like, hey, like,
Yeah.
I'm here. You ready to go, and whatnot. And then I carry that same chivalrous attitude all the way forward. I'll get her car door. I'll get the restaurant door. I'll get the movie theater door. Like wherever we're at, I'm gonna be chivalrous because I'm showing her that I'm genuine about this time I'm ready to spend with her in this moment. Like I'm gonna let her feel special. That like, yo, like this motherfucker's actually being a gentleman and whatnot.
Yeah, and then that's where it was like I would always do everything else that you just said except for the knock on the door part, because I did it one time and she was like, "Why did you knock on the door?" And it was kind of like, "Damn, like, am I not? Are you not supposed to do that now?"
Yeah, our doors off limits. Like,
Yeah, I was like, "So are you not like?" Because my dad always taught me that too. Is like, you're supposed to get out, go get her from the house, walk her back, open her car door, or whatever.
mm-hmm.
And I think that one type of situation really stuck with me. So it's like now, not now, but back then I would just say, "Hey, I'm here," and then when they come out, you would get out the car, walk around, open the door for them before they get there,
Yep.
or whatever, and then go from there. So, but yeah, I always curious about how other people approach like their chivalry.
Yeah, and of course every dude is different and
Yeah,
whatnot. Like I can only speak for me, just like you can only speak for you. And then on certain situations we've seen in our lives, you know what I'm saying, man?
yeah, it's very true, bro.
Cool. But I think this was a very cool, fluid, successful first episode of this little project we got going on.
Oh yeah, man, this was fun, dude. I'm really glad that you came up with this idea, picked up that mic, big dog, and we doing our thing, man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to see where this can go.
Yes, sir.
So I guess we'll sign out for the day. Once
Yep.
again,
Y'all have a good one, man. Everybody be safe out there, stay healthy, and just live your life.
Yep. You guys take care. Like my man said, stay healthy, stay active, and live life.